This is a story that I saw a couple days ago. So I'm not quite familiar as I should be, but I think I got the gist of this story. If you know anything about this story that I haven't mentioned or just want to add on to stuff I've already said, please comment below and just let me know, because I just came across this story actually on the Discovery ID channel, and then I started to do a little research on the internet myself. It happened in Hayden Township, New Jersey on October 13th, 2015. This is a quote by the father. "I just woke up and my 3-year-old son is missing," end quote. He felt like Brendon had wandered out of his apartment. Yet there was no forced entry in the apartment. And I believe the door had been locked. Yet his son had been kidnapped. This was the assumption. So he would call the police.
911, where's your emergency?
I just woke up and my 3-year-old's missing.
Okay, what's your address, sir?
Hold on, he's out. He's out, is he in there? No, yeah, he's missing.
Alright, and what's your...
In Haddon Township.
What is it?
Haddon Township.
Haddon Township. 3-year-old boy or girl?
3-year-old boy. His name is Brendon.
Spell his name for me.
Brendan.
And last name?
Creato, Creato.
Okay, and what'd you last see him wearing?
He was wearing red pajamas.
Okay, and you didn't hear anything or see anything or nothing like that?
No, I just woke up and he wasn't in my apartment. I don't know if he wandered out or what happened. I don't know where he is. The door was locked. I guess he unlocked it and left.
Alright, and your address is...
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I already had the police on the way, sir. What is your name?
My name is DJ.
DJ, your last name?
Creato.
Spell for me.
Creato.
Now, when the police had arrived, and later on the detectives would actually discuss this, not only on the episode on Discovery Plus, but also in the court trial, there was no forced entry inside the small apartment. So whoever had abducted Brendon, they would have needed to have a key to get inside, and they would have came inside the apartment. They would have went to Brendon's room. They would have got him and brought him out. And then locked the door back. That's the only way that this abduction could have occurred. But that's what they did. So, David, DJ, he has custody arrangements where he's able to keep his son every other weekend. And he was looking forward to those weekends. He had a very good relationship with his son. Everyone said it. Both sides of the family and friends, David was a good father. Even Samantha Donato, Brendon's mother, said that he was a good father. However, they were together for 7 years, and due to his cheating, she ended the relationship. But he remained in his son's life, right? Great. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. So DJ, he gets on social media and he meets a 17-year-old girl named Julia Stenky. 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 Guess that's her name. So they meet each other online and they quickly became infatuated with one another. She was going to college in New York City, and they would talk a lot and text a lot. They couldn't stop wanting to know where the other was and any of that. He actually says, quote, "I don't want to miss a second of you," end quote. He would say beautiful texts like this to her, and he would also call her retarded and say that she had mental issues and alluded to the fact that she was drunk, or was she drinking quite often. They would also both get upset with each other if the other one didn't say "I love you" the way that they was supposed to say "I love you." Now, they met in mid-June. I do need to point that out. So they met in mid-June 2015. So basically for like 3.5 months, they had a situation. Now, from the second date, Julia had told DJ that she didn't like children. From the second date. Now, right then, you would think, okay, you don't like kids? Well, I have a kid, so obviously this isn't going to work. It's only the second date, but that's not what happened. They went to looking at trips to go to Norway. That was DJ's idea. He sent her a link shortly after they met to go to Norway. If they ever went, I don't know. But he seemed to want to really be with her, knowing that she didn't want to be around children, especially his child. She even had pointed out that Samantha, I think she had Brendon when he was 19 years old. She even pointed out that, it was a mistake, that they shouldn't have done this. And DJ quickly corrected her. He said, "My son is not a mistake." He also told her he would never ditch his son. He would never abandon his child. But yet, they still stayed together arguing about this. She was even not happy with the fact that DJ had a cordial relationship with his son's mother. She wasn't happy that they were still communicating. They were both co-parenting. I didn't see anything that Samantha might have wanted to rekindle anything with DJ. I mean, I believe when she was done, she was done. I don't think she wanted to rekindle. I didn't see anything. But for some reason, this is what Samantha felt like. She just didn't want them communicating. And she even told him in a text, "I don't like you communicating with exes." But she wasn't just an ex. Again, she's the mother of his 3-year-old. She wasn't getting that through her head. Or maybe she was. And she was pretty much using it as a reason to keep this drama up about getting rid of Brendon. Basically, she wanted, or she aimed at DJ to revoke his custody agreements. And I believe he was planning on giving up custody of his son so that when she came on the weekends, he wouldn't be there, because he was getting babysitters. The weekend that he used to look forward to, hanging out with his kid, his AKA best friend, it changed. When this teenager came into the picture, it changed. Now, within 3 months of meeting Julia, you're ready to give up custody of your child because she doesn't like kids. He also asks her, he says, "What happens if you get pregnant?" "Oh, I'll get an abortion." I mean, she said that easily. She'll get an abortion. She wasn't going to have any kids. Now, I also read in another article that in the future, she may have had a kid and she may have wanted the kid to be DJs. Now, I'm not sure if that part is correct, but I know the part where she said she would get an abortion is very correct if she ever had gotten impregnated by DJ. That's what she would do. So she also got upset that DJ would refer to Brendon, his son, as his best friend, and that Brendon came first. He was number one. So she's like, oh, I'm number two. And, she didn't like that. But again, she's 17. So, I'm thinking, wow, it's two kids. And they're arguing for the attention of DJ. Except I don't even think Brendon knew that he was in what word am I looking for? A competition. I don't even think a 3-year-old kid knew that he was in a competition with his father's girlfriend of less than 4 months. I don't think he knew that, but he was. Because she wanted him gone. It was even to the point where DJ got so upset and he said, what the fuck do you want me to do? Shove him back in her vagina? She just wanted this baby gone. Now, the courts say that Julia manipulated DJ into the following actions. She did. I do agree. But I agree, it's still something missing. I will go as far as to saying, okay, you're going to give up your rights because you are so in love with this teenager. I get it. But I can understand. I'm going to try to understand. You can pay the babysitter. Yeah. So you guys can spend time together. But the rights, why would you want to do that? Your relationship didn't work out with your baby's mother, but this was his thinking at the time. So he was going to give up the rights so that he can have his girlfriend come on the weekends and his kid not be there. He would even say, why do you hate him so much? Why can't we just be a family? Brendon is not even around that much. But Julia, she just really wasn't hearing it. When I looked at footage of her on the stand, it was just like, she was so emotionless. She was so monotone. This couple exchanged in a very short period of time 2,500 text messages. Consistently, he would call. She would say stuff to anger him, like she was going out to lunch with a Spanish exchange student named Giovanni that she calls Gio. She would rub it in and get under his skin. She knew how to push his buttons. He was concerned about Julia talking to other guys. He didn't like it. He asked her, why can't you go out with other females? And she would pretty much say, well, why are you still talking to your son's mother? Anything that sounded stupid, she was all for it. You know what I mean? He's like, he would say, Brendon's my best friend. He comes first. Oh, okay. So that means I'm second. Well, then that means you're second. She was acting like a child because she was, she was. He wasn't dreadfully older than her, but he's a father now. You have to raise this son into a young man, and then trust me, thereafter, there are children forever. And he knew that, and I think he was ready for that until he met Julia. I really do. She said, quote, "I don't want to spend my precious time near your kid or any other kid," unquote. So she was sticking to what she felt. He should have just been like, you know what? Go to hell. But he didn't. He stuck in there. I don't know what was so great, but he stuck in there regardless. Now, Brendan Creato, at 3 years old, he was found in a shallow body of water, face down. Cooper River Park in Hayden Township. The detectives would say that this baby had to be carried out the house because his socks, he had on white socks, and he's 3, and his socks are pristine. So basically, somebody had to have keys to get inside DJ's small apartment, go to Brendan's room, take Brendon out of the apartment, lock the door, walk him down to the river, and then place him in it, face down. That area also was an area that DJ liked. It was like a serene place for him. He liked to go down there and think. I have an area like that too, with a very large body of water. And I like to go down there and exercise it. It refreshes me. I call it my little piece of heaven, you know? So that was kind of like his special area. A trial did happen, and it was a mistrial. The reason why it was a mistrial because they never proved how Brendon actually died. The second trial was set up for September 11th, but on August 23rd, couple weeks before, DJ would cop a plea. I'm not sure if it was an Alford plea, where all the evidence is against you, but you just cop it anyway and don't go to trial. I don't know if it was that, but he did a plea. It was negotiated by the prosecutor, and he got 10 years in prison, and he had to do 85% of that time before he was even let out. And it said, quote, "deprived his son of oxygen," end quote. So basically, Brendon would have had to have been smothered. Now, at the time, DJ's family believes he's innocent, but we know how that works. You can't let your mind go to knowing that your son, your brother, your cousin, whoever he is to you, had killed your grandson, your nephew. At the time, they thought he was innocent. I don't know if they feel that way now. Now, what got to me was the date has been set up for July 10th, 2024. That's in 2 years. He could be out in less than 2 years. He's a free man. He'll be out soon. I read in comments now, this wasn't in an article, in comments that he still has his relationship with Julia. Wow, right? I mean, I don't know if that's true. There should be some stipulations. They should never see each other again. I don't know. Now, DJ is probably 31, 32. And Julia is like in her mid-20s, which is like 26. So they're still young. They can act like this has never happened if they do get back together. They can act like this has never happened because this is really what Julia wanted. Him not to be tied down to his kid. But unfortunately, and my deepest condolences, Samantha, her life hopefully has gotten a little bit better where she can bear with it. But her baby has died at the hands of a man who was supposed to be protecting his kid, watching his kid. Like I said, sometimes you can try to prevent things, but how can you prevent something if you don't know that it might happen? No one saw this coming to try to prevent it. And I mean, it's horrible. They say he is being housed at the Garden Youth Correctional Facility in Camden, New Jersey. So he didn't even go to a prison? So it's like a prison for young people? So he didn't get transferred? Everybody wanted him to get transferred. They wanted him to be amongst the real killers, you know? Not the ones that kill a hopeless, innocent 3-year-old, you know, so he can lay up with his 17-year-old girlfriend throughout the day. But they wanted him to be around real killers. And I don't think he was around them. It's sad because he described Julia as having mental illness. Isn't that like the pot calling the kettle? You know what I mean? Because something clearly has to be wrong with you to let a young girl trick you or manipulate you or put in your head that this is an option. She may have not flat out said, look, kill your son, but constantly saying, get rid of him, do something, you know, and why didn't DJ just relinquish his custody? Why did he do this? One day, if this video is still up, if my station's still going, DJ's gonna look at this video. Julia's gonna look at this video. And I have something to say to both of them. First, Julia. Julia, you might not have pushed it, but you knew what you were doing. And one day, if you don't always, you may have a kid. Your actions were selfish. It was disgusting. You're a selfish person. I've seen it. We've all seen it. And it was horrible that you left so much emotion and hurt on the Donato family and even the Creato family by a little 3-month fling, because it's probably what it was. And DJ, your best friend, you stopped oxygen to your best friend, to your son, half yours, for a 17-year-old girl who was basically trying to control you. You two were trying to control each other. You know, I mean, terrible. Terrible. And I don't even know if you are capable, because I want to tell you, I hope you feel pain for the rest of your life for what you did to that baby. But you might not even have that in you. You know, you might just only be out for self. And it's a shame. Because when I saw him in his younger pictures, before I knew he was such a monster, and they are a lot younger than me, but he put me in a frame of Kurt Cobain. I used to love Kurt Cobain back in the day. A few of his pictures. But unlike Kurt Cobain, he let his child live and he took himself out. Some say he was murdered, but, you know. You should have took her out. Murder, suicide, but left the kid alone. You could have did, there was so many options. There was so many. My condolence again to Samantha Donato. And excuse me for being all over the place with this, but I saw some stuff over the weekend. I just wanted to share it. And I'm actually going to do another story that I saw over the weekend too. So this is not like my normal videos, but it's just something that stuck with me. It's something that I just wanted to share. And, you know, this man is going to be out soon, able to impregnate another woman. And hopefully, you know, if he doesn't stay with that woman and he gets some kind of custody, hopefully, another woman, or maybe even Julia again, doesn't suggest him to take out a baby.